This is the WHTC Morning News with Gary Stevens and Peg McNichol on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Friday, August 20th. Friday mornings at this time, we travel Michigan, find out what's going on, major events across the state, and a little travel and tourism talk with the Vice President of Pura, Michigan, Dave Lorenz. He joins us via the Zoom connection. David, good morning. Hope all is well with you and the family.
All is well. In fact, it's looking rather good out there right now as well. And I'm looking forward to maybe a little slightly cooler day today because, we are about to make that big transition, Gary.
Yep. Labor Day, 2 weeks from Monday.
It is hard to believe. You think about that. When this summer started, when the season started so long ago, it was just yesterday in some ways, but I think this has been a great summer in so many ways. We've had a lot of hot weather for those people who really love it. We've been able to get out there to enjoy being together with friends and family, to go to some of our big events. And even though these case counts continue to rise in some areas, I think that people are starting to get their lives back. What I am concerned about, though, Gary, is I'm noticing, it seems to be at least, kind of a renewed sense of a loss of hope to some degree. More and more people are really disturbed, understandably. Look what's happening around the world, especially in Afghanistan. And then you tie that with all these challenges we've had together with COVID, and COVID's not going away, not until, we decide to really kind of hang together and, do all we can to keep each other safe. I've told you how important I think the vaccines are, but I think I just seem to notice people seem to be, more disturbed lately. So if you find yourself in that category, please talk to your friends and your family. And if you think you need some additional assistance, there's no shame in asking for help from the doctor. Go and talk to somebody, because that so often is all it takes to feel so much better about life, especially when it's in such turmoil right now. I think long-term, we're going to have to really get used to all these changes and become a little more accepting of change. Heard a lot about that this last week. I was at what's called ESTO, a big educational conference in LA for the travel industry. And we talked about this need for society to be more accepting of change. And I think most of us simply are not yet. So at least in the interim, share your concerns and your thoughts, and don't keep them inside. That's where it can really be harmful and can catch up on us in ways that are very, very damaging. So share your thoughts and fears and worries.
Indeed. Peg McNichol has a question for you, David, in the newsroom. Go ahead, Peg.
Less of a question. I just wanted to PS to that. We support the BeNice.org, which is an initiative where you can go get resources for yourself, or if you're concerned about someone you love that they might, self-harm, you can find ways to think about it and talk about it with that person, because talking to someone you're concerned about is okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Good tools for that. So I just wanted to PS. I really appreciate you putting that message out there too.
Thanks, Peg. Really great to hear that. And also, if you go to michigan.gov/coronavirus, there's a bunch of information here. State services available. And again, people can see when you have injuries on the outside. We can't see when there are injuries on the inside. So it's just another way to kind of be thoughtful. And if you notice somebody who just seems to be a little down or a little depressed, sometimes it can be more than a little. So let's not just let this pass by.
It's Travel Michigan with Dave Lorenz as we move forward. We're pretty busy around these parts tonight. We have the fireworks, which was postponed because of issues involving the protocols and getting things in order. So the McIntyre Area Coordinating Council will be lighting up the fireworks over Lake Mac tonight. And then tomorrow it's the International Festival of Holland. And it's the second annual, even though we didn't have one last year. It should be a lot of fun around these parts. You are headed to the Magic City
I am. So, everybody jokes around about it because it's a silly name. Colon. I'm heading to Colon. It is Magic City, USA. And the funny little thing about that, Gary, I was talking to some of the locals there a couple of weeks ago when I was there. And they said the reason it's called Colon is some doctor realized that the river system in the lake kind of reminded them of something. So there you go. Welcome to Colon. Well, I'm going to be right in the center of it all for the big barbecue festival. So they have what they call the Big Green Egg Festival. And quite literally, when I accepted the offer to be a judge, I thought I'd be, doing like an egg, like all the different types of eggs you can eat, scrambled eggs and fried eggs and omelets and whatever. We need to travel a little bit more. We've missed this a little bit too much. So what I found, it's basically a big barbecue festival. So I'll be there. Actually, Jim Edelman from Under the Radar is going to be another one of the so-called celebrity judges. There'll be some people know Kristen Beinert. She is from Midwest Living magazine, and one of the people, actually, I think the publisher of our magazine. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's Saturday. I think it starts around 11 o'clock. And if you're, looking for something to do, maybe you want to take a little drive. It's over by Battle Creek. It's a cute little town. And if you're into magic, you should check it out anyway, because it is the center of magic in the world. It really, truly is. Like Harry Blackstone is buried there. In the cemetery, they have reservations for magicians all over the world. They all want to be buried there.
Yeah,
now you see them, now you don't.
I make fun of the fact that we have too many Harry Blackstone Juniors around here.
Yeah. Well, I love magic, and so I was actually there at one of the relatively new theaters. They have a couple of theaters there, so they do magic shows there all the time. And I love the fact that you can still go to a place and see a show and see it on a regular basis. So it's pretty cool. Some really nice restaurants, things like that too.
There's a couple other things going on that I do want to mention. One for the car enthusiasts, the Woodward Dream Cruise in Detroit. I've driven in that, which is very unusual. But that's basically up from Detroit along the old US 10 now M1 route, Woodward Avenue.
Yeah, and actually, there's a facility called the M1. It's like a racetrack for like private car owners, and they have a big event there. And this cruise this year, of course, because of everything else, it's not technically, I don't think technically the Dream Cruise, but they're still having cruising. So you can say it's not going to officially happen, but believe me, this is one of those events. People are still going to go there.
And then if one wants to go up towards the UP, before you go over the bridge, go into Caseville. Cheeseburger in Caseville.
That's
weekend.
Right.
If you like Jimmy Buffett, Caseville's the place to go, right off of Lake Michigan near the Straits.
If you like cheeseburgers as well. And again, I love these places that you can go and eat a whole bunch and not feel guilty. So that's one of those places. But it's a Jimmy Buffett weekend, and there'll be a lot of music, a lot of fun. And Caseville is in the Thumb. It's one of those little towns that most people don't know about. But we should be exploring the Thumb more than we do. A lot of farmland there, but there's a lot of all really cool things to see and do in that area as well, especially along the lakeshore. But Caseville is a cute little town. Check it out.
And you can check out that and other events through Michigan.org. That's where your trip begins, Michigan.org. And like Pure Michigan on Facebook, and you'll be able to keep up with everything going on in travel in our state. Dave Lorenz, as always, we appreciate your time chatting with us on WHTC's Travel Michigan segment, and we look forward to chatting with you again next Friday morning.
Thank you much, Gary. See y'all.
Thank you very much, Dave Lorenz on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.